Okay, so then the next bit is we've got we've got basically Kelvin, and we need to go from Kelvin to Celsius. So um, I usually use Google for this kind of thing, and it just tells me that if I have uh, Kelvin, then if I subtract 273.15, I'll get Celsius. It's pretty straightforward. Um, I think I remember that in lecture. I can't remember if I got the number exactly right, but this is something I use Google for. And okay, so I need to subtract, and I'm just going to copy that number. And so then what we want to do over here is similar to the way that we multiplied, took a constant and multiplied it against every pixel. There is the ability to subtract. And it's going to similarly allow you to kind of to do map algebra, which we'll talk about soon, where you subtract another image from an image. But for right now, we're just going to use a constant. And so I'm going to bring over the step 6. And the other thing to point out here is that you only need to do this. Um, you always want to check to make sure that you have to do some kind of a unit conversion, because it could be that the units are what you want and you can skip this step. But if they're not what you want, then this is how you get there. So I'm going to say subtract, and it'll light up purple because it recognizes that as a reserved term. And then I'm going to, nope, not paste in that. I'm going to go back to this and just make sure that I get 273. I don't actually want the negative sign. I just want the numbers because I'm already subtracting that. So I don't want to subtract the negative because that's going to be complicated. But if I just subtract that, and it should be blue because this is a number, and 273.15 is what you want. And so then let's go ahead and check this out. So I'm going to say print, and it's going to be just a single thing. Step 6 checks, and comma, and then I'll say step 6, and then I'm also going to say check. The second tutorial check, and the input is step 6. So again, this is the last time we're going to do this check in this tutorial, but just please ask us questions if you don't quite understand it. It's just this is the function. It takes the image. It's assuming that the image has this band name. The tutorial, it'll assume the image has a different band name, which I'll tell you. And it won't be called T02, it'll be called something else, but it's the same kind of idea. You're just using this module to grab the value, like kind of like using the inspector, but always at the same place. And if I hit run, this is what I get. And it allows you also to kind of check your work because you can see that it's a little bit hard to, you could grab a calculator and make sure that that is, if you multiplied that times 0.02, you would get that. And then if you subtracted 273.15 from that, you would get this. Um, and that is, and maybe like, just keeping, like you would get something close to that, but the significant digits here might be a little bit wonky because of the data type. Okay, so and that just means that the average land surface temperature for this location, which I think might be the null, is is below freezing, which makes sense because it's winter and in Vermont. Is that fair? So I'm gonna hit save, and there's that.